Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox. You're on the panel tonight is the one and only Bridgeman and my big mate, the TikTok star, George Logan. Evening, gentlemen.
How you doing, boys? All right? How you doing, Bridgeman?
Good evening to you two guys. Big good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Bridgeman, great news.
What's that, pal?
Great news. I got a letter today.
Go on then.
We've won our case. Mr. S. Kipper and CB have had to. Looks as if we're going to get a few quid conversations for the slurring our character, mate. They've capitulated. They've capitulated.
I love it. I love it. Well done.
I just told you to hang fire, mate. That Mr. S. Kipper would see him off. You know. How are you, George?
Hi, all right. Ox dodging away. I can't handle this international football break. Ox.
Does anybody like it, George?
I don't think the day, Ox, and this would have been the prime example just to scrap it this time and just say, look, we're just going to go and get the boys out playing football. For me personally, I kind of look at folks still like watching our nation, but me, I'm just a Rangers man. Ox.
Aye. I don't even know if the fans of the international teams particularly like it neither, George, if I'm being honest.
I don't know how people can enjoy it, Ox. Me personally, if we're talking about Scotland playing the Moors night, there's no way I could.
The night they're playing, they're already getting beat, but that's another story.
Oh well, the night I can't cheer players for other teams. I'll cheer Rangers players and I want to see them doing well, but that doesn't matter what country they're playing for. Ox, I want to see them doing well because they're Rangers players. I just think. Don't get me wrong. I used to like watching them in McCoy and all these guys. Barry Ferguson, all that played off. Different story now.
Right, who's that? I can gather that's the Bridgeman cracking up. I'm so proud of you, George, the fact that you cheered John Daly on. I'm really proud of you, mate.
I maybe missed that one right enough, Fox.
I'm so proud of you, mate. Yeah, well done, mate. It takes a big man to do that. I'll take my hat off to you. Right, I've got a wee quiz for you too. Bridgeman. Bridgeman. Right.
Pal. Oh, pal.
A wee quiz for you too, right?
A quiz, okay.
It's got a bit of football in it, and a bit of geography, and a bit of history. Yeah, so obviously you can't cover the football, George, and the geography, and Bridgeman covers the history. Is that fair?
That's perfect, aye.
That's one of his favourite songs, isn't it, Bridge? If you know your history.
If you know your history.
Right. So, it's as I say, international football, and we're going to see all the countries we played, yeah? So you'll get a point if you get a country right, and you'll get another point if you get a team who played for that country. Yeah, but they've got to be done in alphabetical order. And we'll pass it back and forth. Yeah?
Hey, on you go, Ox. Aye.
You got the idea, Bridge?
Uh-huh.
It's teams that we've played. Rangers have played in competitive matches. Yeah? For instance, if we were on a tour of, say, America and we played Atlanta, that wouldn't be in it. It's competitive matches. All right?
Cool.
All right. Okay. Right, I'll toss the coin. Heads or tails, Bridge?
Tails.
You won, Brett. You won, mate. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first because I'm crap anyway.
So starting with A.
A, right.
Now. Right, a country starting with A.
That we've played?
Yeah, teams for this country.
Who did we play with an A?
Remember Hitler came for here?
Germany. Oh, Austria, yeah. Austria, sorry. Is it Austrian teams?
I have to take your first answer there.
No, is it Austrian teams? Is that what we're saying?
Yes, Austrian teams.
Okay. Austrian teams, Progress Niederkorn.
No, mate. No, they were for Luxembourg, mate.
I thought we had played them. Got beat with them the other year.
They're for Luxembourg, Bridge.
Oh, were they? Sorry. For
right.
Christ's sake. I'm thinking they were Austrian, sorry.
You've got to be really good at this, I can tell.
Oh, I'd try to tell you that.
Right, George, it's up to you. Alphabetical order. Austria. You want to go for next, mate?
Oh, Savannah.
You there, George?
Aye, Savannah Ox.
No, just go for it. Move on with the alphabet.
All right, just go
Move
for
on.
B then. So
Yes.
I'll go for B. I should have thinking that before that actually. Right. So if I go for Belgium,
Yep.
we must have played Anderlecht at one time, Ox.
Yeah, the year you were born, George, 1959.
There you go.
Yep, that's George winning 3-1, Bridge.
Okay.
It's up to you now.
What is it the same country?
No, a different letter.
It's a different letter now, so we're on C.
Well done, Bridge.
Right? So a team in Czechoslovakia. I don't know if you're allowed to do that, are you? Because it's a different country, isn't it?
I'll give you that one. Carry on.
Let me think now. Oh, my mind's gone. So in Czechoslovakia, it would be... Nah. Fuck's sake, Alan. Come on.
No.
I just can't think at all. I just can't think. Why did I say Czechoslovakia anyway?
No, you've got.
Could have went for Cyprus, couldn't we?
I'll give you one for that, but you wouldn't have got the team for Cyprus neither, would you?
Probably not.
Right, we played.
See the team for Cyprus, Ox? Is that Famagusta?
Sure is, mate.
No, I remember we played them a few years ago.
I remember we played Czechoslovakian teams.
We played two teams for Cyprus. No, we played the same team twice. Right, so Bridgeman, I'll give you a point for that. So George is winning 3-2. We're moving on to the D's now, George.
Denmark, Copenhagen.
Oh, Bridgeman, you've been unlucky with the toss of the coin here.
I'm getting leathered, aren't I?
Copenhagen. Right, correct, George. And then we're moving on to the E's, Bridge.
England.
Yep.
Leeds United.
I'll need to give you that one. Moving on to the F's, George.
France.
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes. G, Bridgeman.
Oh dear, G. Greece.
Oh yes.
Panathinaikos.
I think you're right there, mate. I think you're getting the hang of this now. He's going to ask to play for money now, George. Now he's getting the hang of it.
That's it. Aye, that's it.
You have H.
I don't think I've played anybody for Hungary. I can't think of who. H. I can't think if we played anybody for Hungary. I ken that what played them last week, but I don't think we played.
Who was that they played last week, George?
Ferencváros.
That's the one. Aye.
Is that what you're going for?
If it's the right answer, I'll go with it.
Go for it. Yes.
Is that your final answer, George?
That's my final answer. Aye.
Correct.
When did we play them, Ox?
Just after you were born, 1960.
Was it? Oh well, I remember that actually.
Right. Bridge would have got that one, wouldn't you, Bridge?
Aye.
Right. What's after H, Bridge?
Aye. Oh, Italy.
Oh, yes. I'll give you that one.
Inter Milan.
Yes, I know that's correct.
There's no J
or K's, George.
L. I'll go for that team for Luxembourg. Oh my God! They spoke about it a while ago there, Tay.
Come on, hurry up!
I just spoke about them. It's been right in my mind, Docs.
George, you need to hurry up now.
Progress Nudicon.
That's it, mate. Right. We're moving on to M's Bridge.
M's. Did we not play? Did we play Malta?
A team from Malta. Team.
Yeah, we played a Maltese team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right.
Oh. I just can't think it, but that's the problem. Malta would be Valletta.
Correct.
Valletta, that's a shout, Bridge.
Oh, George, you're starting to struggle here.
Aye.
Right, so we're after M's. We've got...
So...
M's.
And there's one now. There's one for you. By God. Netherlands.
Yep.
PSV.
Yeah, with a few for there. Okay. There's no O's, and then we're on to the P's, Bridge.
Oh, P. Wait a minute now. You know, sometimes it just goes a blank, doesn't it? You can't think. P. What countries begin with P? Poland.
Right.
Gornik.
Well done, George. Right, there's no Q's, and then we're on to R's, George.
Hey, by the way, that's a great shout, Bridgeman. I'm sitting here thinking, Portugal. Bridgeman comes out to Poland and shouts a great team. What a shout, by the way.
Couldn't even think of Portugal.
So what was I on to there? R.
Yes.
I'll go for Russia, and I'll go for Zenit St. Petersburg.
Oh, yes. Can't go to game that. Bridgeman, RS.
S.
No, Bridge. No, the
It's got to
regiment
be.
you were in.
It's got to be. What?
You said SS. I said, no, the regiment you were in.
No. Sorry, I didn't say that. S. Well, you could have Sweden there, or you could have Slovakia.
Are you going for what one? Are you going for?
Got to go for Sweden.
Oh, you made that tough.
No, I can't even think it. Tell you the truth.
Just
Let
go
me
for
think.
Spain, Bridge.
I should have went for Spain, of course.
You should
I
have.
should have went for Spain.
Come on,
I'll
then.
go for
Come on,
Spain.
think.
I'll go for Spain.
No, you're
Barcelona.
stuck with Sweden. No, you're stuck with Sweden, mate.
I'm
Sorry.
Sweden. Okay. All right. Okay.
Come on, two teams.
Ah, gee whiz.
Did we play one in the Champions League about 12 years ago, Ox?
Yeah, we did actually.
9 years ago.
Oh,
Wasn't it Rosenborg? Was it?
They're Norwegian, Bridge.
So they are. No, I can't think. Sorry, can't think.
Both in the Champions League, George. Any ideas?
Molde. Ox, no.
Malmo and Gothenburg.
Malmo. Bloody hell.
Now, Bridge, man, you know, this is a final warning for your language.
Sorry, pal.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
S, then we're on to T. George.
T. Oh, my God. T. I can't think of Turkey.
Well done.
Fenerbahce.
I need to give you that, mate.
Did we? I couldn't have been floating another team, to be honest.
Well, we played Borispor, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, and Anka Guriso in 1973. There you go.
There you go.
Last one's a you, Bridge. I think if you get this, you win, Bridge.
Oh, you're kidding me on. Was it a you?
No, you. There's 10 bonus points for this one.
Okay, it would be Ukraine.
Go on, Bridge.
Trying to think, what's their capital? Was it Tbilisi?
Is that your final answer?
Aye.
Dynamo Kiev.
Dynamo Kiev. That's Kiev. I can't remember. Okay.
Oh, brilliant. Well done, boys. Not a bad effort. George, what country have we played the most, you reckon?
I was thinking there, Ox, as you were saying that there. Have we played Holland, maybe the most, Ox, no?
No, it's one country by a distance, mate. It surprised me when I checked it out. We played this team more than double which we played English teams. Double what we played French teams. Double what we played German teams come to the fore, mate. 53 times we played German teams.
Aye, there you go. Aye.
That was
good, Doc. That was good. I like Bridgeman shout at Poland. I'm sitting there thinking of P and Portugal coming to me. But that's a shout that is, by the way. Was that the team you played Gronya? Was that when Henderson that was in the team, Ox, way back then, aye?
Who's that, George?
Well, Henderson that was they in the team back then.
Gornik.
Aye.
We played Gornik. That was Dave Smith's last game, but we also played them in the first round of the European Cup in 87-88 season. In fact, it was on this day we actually played the first round at Ibrox. We won 1-0. 1-0 I read that today. But Gornik, we played them twice in Europe. Once they put us out and once we put them out.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Aye, brilliant.
All right. Okay. You back with us, Bridge?
I am indeed.
Right. A wee bit of fun there, huh?
Aye, indeed. Aye, you know, George was saying there, the P, and I couldn't even think about Portugal. And when S came out, I couldn't even think of Spain. You know, for a just crazy, just
It's
crazy.
not that you're silly, it's just you're not very good at geography.
No, I'm not very good at anything.
That flags up the amount of teams we've actually put to sword over the years as well, Ox, because I said France there, and I said Lyon, because I think the night we put beat Lyon in the Champions League, they came back to bite us, obviously, but I mean, Paris Saint-Germain and what's the other team that gave us the bike as well, and then we played Auxerre as well, so we played a few of the French teams as well. We've had some big scouts in Europe.
French teams, George?
Go for Ox, aye.
Yeah, I'll give you the list of the French
Was it
teams.
Rennes or was it Rennes or Rennes or Rennes?
I think my first European tie was against a French club, wasn't it, Bridge?
First European tie. You know, you're probably right. Bless if I can think of who it was, but
Nice, 1956.
Nice, there you go. Nice, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And of course we played Marseille.
A neutral run. Nice, St Etienne. Then Monaco, 61. Stade Rennes, St Etienne again, 75, 76. Marseille, 92, 93. Auxerre, 96. Strasbourg, 97. Can't remember that one. 2000, Monaco again. When we won over there, then we lost a goal, put us out. Big Amaruso lost the captaincy. 2001, 0-0-0-0. We won in penalties. 2004-5, Auxerre. We lost 2-0 away. 2006, Auxerre again. We drew 2 each. And 2007, obviously, Lyon, home and away. Yeah, quite interesting. Quite interesting. Some famous ties there. The first one went to a third game, went to a neutral venue. I think that was played at Highbury Bridge. Is that right?
I think so, pal. I think so.
Doesn't it tell me on the information I've got? I'll try and look that up. There we go. Anyway, if people want to join us, what's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We brought into the call by the one and only old school Blown Fox, who are manning the phone lines this evening. We know we announced we were having a guest on this evening. Circumstances, but hopefully that'll be all sorted and it'll be on tomorrow evening. Yes. So we'll maybe announce it at the end of the show. There you go, Bridge man.
That'll be brilliant. I'm looking forward to that. Is it a full interview, or what?
We'll see where it takes us, Bridge. We'll see where it takes us. How are we doing, George? As we said, the international break, we're starting to slowly build up to a game on Saturday. I don't see a problem for us on Saturday. I really don't. But obviously, you just want to get all your players back safely for these breaks. And obviously, the COVID thing's made it a bit harder, Brad.
Well, that's it, Ox. I mean, you're always a bit worried about guys coming back. Anyway, you heard the gaffer saying that. There's just that wee bit agitating now. You don't know how they're going to come back. And when they do come back, what restrictions are going to be put on anybody. So it's a bit of a tricky one, Ox. But like you say there, looking forward to Saturday. It's another tricky game. But we've got the players in the team to actually get the points, Ox. So start to look forward to it now.
Here. We've been joined by JFK, who's popped in. Evening, JFK.
Hi, guys. Hi, George. Hi, Bridgeman.
How you doing, JFK? All right?
Hi, Jimmy. How you doing, pal?
I'm all right, pal. Thanks for letting me pop in. I've just to come in, just like to one of our own passed away at the weekend, Jimmy Dykes, a legend in his own right, and good PUL man he was. A long illness. Jimmy was a member of the Partick Protestant Boys Flute Band and various others. A very nice man. Hadn't seen him for a few years, but unfortunately, he succumbed to his illnesses at the weekend. So I'd just like to pass on my condolences to...
What age would Jimmy have been then?
He'd have been 70 odds, I would say.
No, not old then. He would have drank, when we drank, he would have drank near the deep end. Would that be fair?
He'd have probably been in the deep end. You'd probably have found him with Big Danny Daly and Big Boom Boom, as we call him, and Donny Cameron. They were his pals. Right. Knowing Jimmy, I hadn't seen him for a few years now, but I just found out the weekend that he'd passed. So just like to pass on my condolences to Jimmy's family, and a sad time for him. The family.
Sad to hear that, JFK.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of the good guys.
Yeah, it definitely was, and it was very, very popular. Quite a funny character in his own way. So anybody that knew him will know what I'm talking about. So anyway, guys, thanks for letting me pop in just to
Right,
put
cheers,
that wee
mate.
message across, and I'm still listening. Okay.
Speak to you soon, brother. All right.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. Oh dear. It's never far away from anybody's door, is it? Oh,
sad, isn't it? It's kind of sad, isn't it?
One of the good guys, mate. One of the good guys. You know. But anyway, right, okay. Aye, as I said, George, we're moving on. We're starting to build up this Corona. At least we're not getting many players with England when they're having dancing girls in it.
Like I was saying, Ox, it's a bit of a worry, but even though we dropped points, I keep going back to that because I hate dropping points. I'm still excited about our season ahead, Ox, and getting the players back. I still think we'll get another couple of players in. We're Monday night here, and we've not had a game for, but it's a weekend. This will be coming up in 2 weeks now, innit? So you're really starting to look forward to a game, even though you're not getting to go to the game, Ox. A lot of folk didn't like watching the TV. I just like to see them playing any point, so I'm looking forward to it. Like,
I can understand that, Bridge, how people don't like it. They'd rather be at the game, but if you can't be there, TV's the next best thing, yeah?
Oh, 100% correct. It is, yeah. It's quite sad, really, that the situation is as it is. And it's, every day it seems to be changing. And I think something on the news tonight that we're not, I think there's some, Aberdeen might get a crowd. They might be allowed a crowd in. But certainly Glasgow area and or down here anyway, none of the teams are allowed in. So allowed crowds in. And it was stretched again to Eastern Bartonshire as well, which would include Clyde and West Renfrewshire, yeah. So I would include Clyde, if indeed Clyde were going to play, because they play at Cumbernauld, don't they? That's quite incredible. It really is quite incredible. Every day it seems to be changing. Very worrying.
I'm sure we'll get there in the end, Bridgeman. It's just slow and steady. Hopefully win the race, and we'll sort it. But I know we're all looking forward to get back to the football, but obviously public safety is maybe very important. But George, I get your point about the TV. It's even without a crowd there, it ain't as good as watching a normal match with a crowd. Even TV coverage is struggling, Georgia. Come on, George. He's hanging about with Bridgeman too much.
Aye, sorry. Like I say, Ox, it isn't the greatest, but we're getting a wee bit of normality, Ox, for some people, because you're still getting to watch the game. You're getting the reports after, you're getting to see the managers and the players after it and that. So it's better than nothing to know, Ox. And first of all, health and safety has got to come first before absolutely anything. Again, that's the most important thing. But just a wee side thing, Ox. I actually said to Paul on Saturday, I was through with the girls from my nieces on Saturday, took them a walk up half a seat in Edinburgh, and there's maybe, I don't know if I right number, maybe 500 people there standing protesting against people wearing masks, and the police are allowing this, Ox, but you're not allowed to go to a football game. And I understand you're not allowed to go to the football game because it's health and safety and it comes into the club then, but I think there's got to be a ban on everything in Scotland. You can't allow some people to do some things and other people not to do other things. When we go to the football every single week and there's a 50,000 seater stadium, if you let 1,000 people in there, there's got to be social distancing. How do you select 1,000 people? Well, me personally, I wouldn't want to go to that crowd, but some people would maybe want to go. I just don't understand how it's all right for some people to do some things and other people to do other things. It's not allowed, Ox.
I'll keep away for that one. I'll take the fifth on that one because I've got my own views on the Scottish Government and I'll keep them to myself, but you can work
that's you're absolutely right, Ox, to keep them to yourself. I just didn't understand. I actually went there, Lisa said to me, you speaking to them, but I spoke to Paul, Ken, if my band was walking down through this street, would you have the same response? Or if we wanted to go to football, would you have the same response? And they agreed with me, like, Ken, they're governed by it. They're governed by it, Ox. Aye, that's that.
I don't know, they're not joke. But I get where you're coming from. Look, get on here, it's your show. We'll take it wherever you want. We've got another wee bit of trivia for you boys. Bridgeman, get your old hat on, your pointed one with a D on it.
Big D on it.
Right, and
See when you were,
on you go, George.
see when you were going through that there, Roxon, you missed out a couple of letters. Did we play a team for every single country apart from the letters, aye? Was the countries, did they not just have teams, or was that...
The ones that I said there was nothing, there was no games for the teams, obviously Q and O.
Aye,
yeah.
Aye.
You know, so that's about it. You know, so both most teams in the alphabet. But quite interesting. And I think what was the other one? I think J and K, mate.
J and K, yeah, that's correct.
You know, so aye. Right, what's the other thing?
We're talking about Italy and I and things like that. I mean, you've got Iceland as well. I'm sure we've played Reykjavik a couple of times.
Reykjavik, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We played Icelandic teams 8 times.
I wouldn't have known as many as that. There you go.
You know, quite frightening, really. Well, obviously, we've got a great history. What was I looking for? I was looking for something for you. All-time records, that was it. That wasn't it. Where am I? Come on. I got a wee bit of trouble for these again. Are you ready for this, Bridge?
I'll try my best, pal.
You never. I was second in that competition. Well, I think we've been joined by a caller, have we? Have we? No. You were second there, Bridge. No disgrace.
Second, yeah. That means last out of 2.
Suppose it does, George, doesn't it?
Far too knowledgeable about the Rangers travels. Far too knowledgeable.
I could listen to and talk about, see things like that, Rangers history and games. Now I could talk about it all night. 90% of the time I'm not right, but I just love talking about it, Bridge. I mean, it makes you, you're talking there now. I mean, for example, you spoke about a Polish team, and even just thinking about the Portuguese teams that played over the years, the Benficas and the Portos, the big games against Porto, even just last season, that big game against Porto. I mean, a lot of people didn't give us a hope in hell, Bridge, coming up against a team like that. Champions League winners 10 years ago, and the players and the money they've got, and we played them off the park. Even like a few years ago, we played them off the park when Eriksson, that was in the team as well. But you're coming away with a team for Poland. I mean, we've got one proud history, the teams we've turned out over the years.
Absolutely. We've got everything to be proud of. Everything to be proud of. That's the truth.
Against most countries, George, we've got the upper hand. I could go back and see where we stand, but I want to just ask you this one. These are Rangers lists, yeah?
Rangers lists.
Lists, yeah.
Right.
Number 1 in the list is Derek Ferguson. Big clue there, yeah? Number 2 is Tom Walsh. Who is number 3? And if somebody phones in with the answer, Fox will sort them out with a keyring, I think, or a fridge magnet off his fridge. Right?
I tend to agree with what George was saying there, because it sounds as if youngest player.
Well done, Bridge. You've got the.
And I think Derek Johnson must fit into that.
Yeah, even on the top 10.
Well, I was just thinking, I'm not even going to say it because I said you've got folk to phone in today, and that's better to do that. But I just actually remembered about one near the New Hawks. But
go on then, give us it.
John Fick.
Oh, George, you've won the keyring. You've ruined the whole quiz. You've won the keyring. He's number 3. But if you've got number 3, we'll give you a prize if you get number 4.
But it was just a few. Was he 16 in a few days when he started with us Hawks?
He's made his debut 16 in 152 days.
What a player he's turned out to be, yeah?
He get better and better as he gets older, mate.
Aye.
Setting the head on fire in that English Premiership.
Was that boy Buck that's now at Kilmarnock? Was he not one of the youngest players?
No, even nowhere near it.
No, even there. Okay.
Some really well-known Rangers on the list. Who? John Fleck's number 3. Who's number 4? Bit of pressure, George. You got number 3. Can you get number 4?
No, I mean Tom Walsh. Did he play? I remember Tom Walsh, number 4. I probably.
He was number 2. Tom Walsh.
Tom Walsh. I remember him. I thought he was got a bit of player for his Hawks. I think he's playing at Clyde now or something like that. Like never ever made any really.
No, he was a nice player, but never kicked on, wasn't he? You know?
That's right. Aye. I probably wouldn't be able to get number 4, to be honest.
Well, we'll see if anybody gets it. Yeah.
84, I think he's answered then.
Aye. You like Derek Ferguson Bridge, didn't you?
I did actually. I thought he was a smashing player. And you know, when his brother came along, I didn't think he was much, shall we say, better. But folk were giving him a big write-up. You know, a lot of folk like Barry Ferguson straight away.
Mm-hmm.
I actually still prefer Derek Ferguson. But he had words. I think he was having words with the management and so on and so forth. So didn't all turn for him, and he ended up. I think he went to. Did he go straight to Hearts? I think he went to Hearts.
May have went to Sunderland first.
All right, he could have went to. There you go. So he wanted away anyway. He wanted to get out.
I don't think he wanted away, mate.
No, I'm saying he had to get away because you know. Otherwise, he's going to have one of these big scratches in his bum, just sitting on the bench.
Fox has had a go for his own fridge magnet. You're wrong, Mr. Fox. You're wrong.
It's no one of the folk that played in the 3rd or 2nd division of that for Hawks, is it not?
Are you having a go, George? Are you having a go?
No, I wouldn't like to think it was one of them, because the boy that played, I don't think he actually played many games for Rangers, but I think he only played one game for Rangers.
None of them. There ain't none of them in the rest of the list ever played in any of the leagues, mate. These are all well-known players.
Who's the oldest player to make a debut for Rangers Rocks? Is that still the oldest player to make a debut? Is that still Davy Weir? Oh no, Clint Hull will be new, won't it?
No, mate, no. Are you going for Davy Weir?
For the oldest, I thought it was, but then I think Clint Hull was younger when he was older when he made his debut.
I quite like that answer there of Clint Hill. I quite like that.
Is that your final answer on that?
I tell a lie, Ox. No, I'll change my answer. The boy that played was last year Bridgeman for Northern Ireland. Gareth McCauley.
Can you do the accent, George?
No, I can't. No.
Are you sure? I seen you last night.
That's different.
You're right. He is the oldest.
Clint Hull. Gareth McCauley. Gareth McCauley. Right.
Gareth McCauley, Clint Hill, Billy Thompson, the goalkeeper, 1995, Davy Weir, Colin Jermaine Defoe. Who's next on the list? Bridgeman.
Oh my God, there must have been somebody when I was a wee kid, or before I was born. Way back then. Wait a minute, Alan McGregor.
No. Can I just say to Mr. Fox, can you please phone in with your answers, but you're wrong again.
Is Alan McGregor not one of the oldest players to play for us when he's second time around?
He's on the top 10 list, but this is when they made their debuts, yeah?
Of course, I'm thinking of his age. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah, but Alan McGregor is in the top 10 oldest players we've had, but no debuts.
Can we go back to the youngest again?
Going in.
Did Alfie Conn know? Was he only about 17?
Is that your final answer, Bridge?
I think he was only about 17. Maybe even 17. Yes, I think Alfie Conn was one of the youngest players.
Are you going for Alfie Conn, number 4 on the list?
Oh, geez, I don't know if he was number 4 on the list. But what the hell, I say it anyway, but I don't know if he was number 4.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Wrong.
Oh dear. So
yes.
I've got two answers here, Oxton City, but Stephen Boyack.
No. I said all well-known players by one.
What about Gary McSwiggan?
Correct. Number 4, Gary McSwiggan.
Oh, well, Alfie Conn must be 5 or 6 then.
And number 5, Alfie Conn. Number 6, Billy Davis. Number 7, John Spencer. Number 8, Billy Mackay. And number 9, of the youngest players every Rangers supporter would get. Every Rangers supporter would get. There you go. Can't say any more than that.
You must be talking about one of the old ones.
All I'm saying is
about one of the old
Rangers
ones.
Supporter would get. If you don't get it, I thank you for the call.
Come on, that's no fair saying that.
Come on, I thank you for the call.
Must be one of the old players. It's got to be one of the older players.
We'll get some callers coming in. Hello, caller. How we doing?
It's Kenny. How you doing, guys, tonight?
Hi, Kenny.
How you doing, Milker? All right.
How you doing, mate? I've just I've not listened to the start of the show. I've just popped on there. Hope you all keeping well. How you all doing? Okay.
Aye, mate. Aye. I'm trying to shield for these two, but the studio's no big enough.
No, but it is, guys. Rangers have got a wee thing on Wednesday with the Castore guys, a question and answer session.
Aye. Mm-hmm.
And I just want to put my thoughts out there to you guys. I want to ask you a wee question, and obviously your listeners. What would you ask them if you had the chance to go?
You're assuming I'm no going, Kenny.
Are you no going?
I've not been invited. You're assuming I'm no going, are you?
No, listen. You need to put your name in to get picked.
If I was going, it depends what the brief is. Obviously, there's a few things, 150, what's happened this year. I would like to ask them what their future plans is to learn for the small hiccups that we've had this year.
That's a very good point.
Because I believe when you take the amount of garments that would sold, my information is it works out at 0.05%, less than 1%. Yeah. By the way, I sympathise for all the people that spend that money and don't get what they want, but I think when you take the whole thing as a collective, it's been reasonably successful, Kenny. No perfect, but reasonably successful.
Do you know something? I think you're right what you're saying. I think that'll be probably the most frequent asked question at this session. I really do. But do you know something? I'm going to add to it as well. I think it's great that the club is engaging with the fans on a personal level too. When have we done
anything like this before?
Exactly. Yep.
You know, I'll bring in the boys, and then we'll be joined by James with Tennessee. I'll go to him in a minute. George, you can take this one. I know you struggled to get a medium, George, but
had to settle for a medium, boys. That's a great question you would ask, Ox. That's probably the question everybody would ask, and you're right in what you're saying. I mean, for the amount of stuff that's actually been sent out, for the little mistake, there's massive big mistakes. It's like if you go and fit a new kitchen for somebody and there's a wee mistake, that's a massive thing for that person. It's going to be the same for them. All of us on here might have not had that problem, but Kenny's saying is right as well. But the question I would ask them is the deal everything they expect it to be? Can I want to know if they're settled in this deal as would be? Because I think that's a big company we've got here, Oxen. I think they've got a big company to do this. I think the two of us could go together and make a really big show at this. I'd like to see if they're as happy, as confident as what they were at the start as they are now.
Dutchman, what would you ask them? Any freebies?
No, I wouldn't ask them that. I certainly would ask along the lines of some of the issues that have come up, and they've been told, no, it's not our problem. Everything's fine. You know, the things that they've been saying, they're coming up with the positives when there has been quite a bit of negatives. I'm not talking about massive, but there's people being thought they were out of money and possibly out of pocket, and maybe that's still the case with some of them. But all of that stuff needs to be cleared up. I said this a couple of weeks ago. They have to come up front. They've got a marvellous audience with the Rangers fans who are desperate to buy the Rangers kit, but they have to get it sorted. All of these things has to get sorted, and they must answer the questions. When things are there, people must be there to answer the question on them. That's what I've got to say.
I think we've got to also remember, but I'll take James's call in a minute, Kenny. You're welcome to sit there, mate. But I think we've got to remember is the circumstances behind it. We took it on just before all this started, and then lo and behold, March the 25th or whatever it was, the world went mental. And obviously even all production or anything ceased. And what we've done is we should give ourselves a pat on the back. What we've done, and it's a great financial deal for the club. I've not had any problem with the quality of the garments that have come into my house, but there's a bit of luck involved in that. And you just have to take it as it comes. But I think overall, it's positive, Kenny. Way a learning curve to get things better.
Well, one of the problems is, I must say,
Let Kenny come in.
Oh, sorry, pal. Sorry.
No, guys, no, thanks. No, listen, I think overall, obviously I asked you guys about what you thought about, what you would ask them about. I think overall, is well, looking at what Rangers are doing, as I said earlier on, getting the fans to engage is really, really important. And I think, people going along to that event, if you do get picked at, it's a good opportunity to get a good feel at what these guys' vision is for the club.
I mean, you want a cross section. I mean, obviously, a lot of us are maybe a wee bit older, so you'll not be buying them out of the sportswear that some of the young team will be buying. You know what I mean? So you need a good cross section, but you might be buying it for kids or grandkids, so you might be the pie master. So it's getting a good cross section there, Brara.
Totally. I think. Well, I would ask them the question as well, what their vision is going forward. I mean, I know that they've said publicly in previous interviews, etc., that they're really looking forward to work with the club, and they're going to do this A, B, and C. But I really want to know what their plans are going to be. For example, if they're when they're around for the 150-year anniversary of the club, are they going to bring out a retro top? Just basically what the plans are for the future.
I don't think. Obviously,
Aye,
on you go, mate.
What would you want to do for the 150th, Kenny? It's a big, massive thing. I've heard, about the blue grass and things like that. What would you want to do for the icon for 150 year?
Do you know something? It's absolutely massive, right? And I think for every Rangers fan is asking the same question. I mean,
me and Bridge would just be happy for here.
Well, I'd like to see Rangers take a big venue, and it might sound silly to most people, but having the Hydro, for example, hiring that out, 15,000 in there, having a concert, different things. We need to make it big. We need to go out there and make a mark. 150 years. We need to do something.
Something like that would be great. Have a concert where you had rallies in the old SSEC before. It used to have thousands there. I don't see why we couldn't do that, but get it right. We could maybe put on some of the stage productions we've got as well at the same time, build it into a wee bit of a festival of our club in the one area that you could go to more than one event, Kenny.
110%. And I think what they should do as well is make they branded the new badge. I mean that was projected on the landmarks in Glasgow, but what they should do there is have the same sort of thing, maybe a bit bigger, and have something like that throughout Glasgow, throughout maybe a few weeks to celebrate our great history. Biggest football club in Scotland.
And we could take the championship trophy around and let every supporter see it.
Well, here's hoping that's the case. Aye, totally agree.
You hang on, mate. We'll be right back. James from Tennessee's ways. How we doing, James?
Good, yeah. I just wanted to make a couple of points. Cut me off when I've said enough. I just wanted to say something
Thanks
first
very much,
Ken.
James. Carry on.
Well, my cut. I want to say something to Kenny. Did you get my message a couple of months ago, Kenny? I sent you.
Oh, he can't remember what yesterday.
I can't remember yesterday. Never mind a couple of months ago.
Well, you had a caller on one night who was a soccer agent, and he was talking about all Rangers. And
we're out of line, James. Carry on. Move on. Next point, mate. Next point, mate. Yeah. Carry on.
Okay. Right. A couple of things about JFK was talking about the US Soccer League. They have the MLS here, which is the major league, and then the USL 1 is a championship. Right. And Orange County play there, and Orange County's got a couple of Rangers players. But they transferred a guy called Brian Cahill. He's an 18-year-old midfield player to Wolfsburg, and he played in the Under-17 World Cup, and he's a very good player. And I was wondering, why did Rangers not get a chance at him? Because we've got a close tie-up and transfer a player like that to
Well, did they go to Wolfsburg for how much money?
I don't know, but it was the first USL, which is the championship player to go to a major European league, because there are a lot of good American players over here, and they're very good, and they're coming to Europe. I
What
just
standard
wondered.
would you put the sort of first division at, or the second division, however way you want to name it?
Well, USL 1, they're probably, I would say, the English first division, but they bring a lot of, JFK was right, they have a lot of 15-year-olds play for them, but they also have, like Orange County's got Harry Forrester, who played with us, and Rob Kiernan, who, you know what he's
Right,
like,
okay.
he plays with them.
All
But
right.
good standard. But I was just going to make that point. Why does Rangers not get the chance? I think that they've got a tie-up, and we missed out on that player. And Rangers should be.
They don't know if they've had a look, no fancied, mate. That's the question. We don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another point, if I've got time, is about Willem Twee. Do you want me to tell you?
Mate.
Yeah, right. Okay. Here's a team I looked at last year. They're very, very good. They'll definitely beat Progress, by the way. No doubt about that. But they've got Nunnally, who's a right winger, who's very good. He's a good player. Played with Ajax, very fast. And then on the other side, the left winger, the German Kohler, he's good as well. So they've also got a very good midfield player who is who's a good attacking midfielder from Belgium. He used to be worth 500,000, but his price has been up to 3 million now. Mike Trezer Nadamisli, something like that. And he's good. He's a good player. Neil attack Rangers. It'll be a tricky game, this one. They're quite good, and they've got a good Swedish defender like Argyle now. But they'll give us a good game. But the final point is, what I want to make is, remember the guy I was talking about from Malmo, the 5'6" guy, and I got slammed for it.
Was that the centre back?
No, that was the midfield player, Fohad Bashiro, right? And he said, and Fox said, "Oh, we've not got contacts." But we went, soon after I spoke about it, 2 weeks later, he's at Nottingham Forest. So we'll see how he does. He played, because the French guy, the manager, signed him from Malmo, and we'll see how he does. So it does back up my point that we could go for any players. I think we could go for any players that I've said, but it's just a kind of fantasy football. I just suggest players. And
listen, mate, I've got to take my hat off to you. I don't know where you find the time.
Yeah, well, I do a bit of soccer coaching and so forth, so I'm interested. And that's what my kind of career over here is, a bit of soccer coaching. So I like to look at players and so forth. But we'll see how he does with Nottingham Forest. And he's a player that could have went to us. But anyway, I just wanted to bring up these points, and I'll go now. But as I said, Willem Twee is a very good team, and we'll need to be on our toes. They're fast.
Listen, mate, we'll get one tie out the way at a time, and then we'll move on to that. We've had our fingers burnt before.
Okay, I'll see you again.
Cheers,
a few weeks' time. Take care. Bye now.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Oh, Bridgeman, mate, I tell you this. You there?
Go on, pal.
I got a letter today for Big Stevie for the drum, just to let everybody know he's going on holiday. Let you hear this, his words, no mine. Will you let all my fans know I'll be back on Rangers Radio soon?
I love it. Oh, he's got a lot of fans, that's for sure.
Oh, dear, all my fans.
He's a very popular chap, very popular.
Oh, dear. What do you think, Job?
Oh, he's absolutely brilliant, Big Stevie. Absolutely brilliant, by the way.
Oh, my fans.
He's really a big fan base, New York's.
Did he tell you where he was going? Oh, you can't tell us that. Don't worry.
No, he can't tell us that for security reasons.
Of course.
Social security reasons.
It would cause too much hassle at the airport, Ox, wouldn't it?
Aye. Kenny, you've got to put up with some people in here. Look, mate, I love your point, and people have been pushing other things in the lobby quite quick. Obviously, if we get the Edmondson Hall at Edmondson set up, and we've got events on, we might be able to fill that for weeks at a time as people come and see the events as part of the celebration. Yeah,
it's exciting. I was going to touch on that as well. I mean, most of us have been over in European countries, and we've seen how European countries do their stuff. I mean, most recently, the last away trip in Europe of us was over in Feyenoord, and they've got a big stage outside, and they've got their fans, and they're all sitting chanting. There's a guy on the stage cheering them on. I don't know how that would work out, but if we did have something like a clubhouse, we maybe have something similar, because I think we're lacking. Well, we all know that we're lacking a wee bit of pre-match hospitality around the stadium, but it's exciting times.
Obviously the great news that the plans came out. There's only so much money and so much you can spend, and it's not a bottomless pit. But to see the fact that we're looking to improve things, from where we were 2, 3, 4 years ago, we've come a long way in a short time. Kenny, then George.
No, listen, it's fantastic. I mean, as you said, came a long way in a short time, and that's something that the mainstream media don't want to report on because they don't like us. But for a Rangers fans' point of view, it's the good feel factor's back at the club. The only thing it's missing now is bringing back the title tie, but I'm sure that will come soon.
You don't get away with anything in here. Some comments in the lobby. On you go, George.
Aye, no, that's right. Kenny's right, mate. He's saying there, Ox. Ken, we have came some distance, and now we're looking forward to the big 150 year. I mean, there's Kenny on asking about the strips. You're saying how much strips we've actually sold, or actually items we've actually sold. It's absolutely astronomical, Ox. Great stuff for the club. It's all positive now, and that's why what Kenny's saying is right. We need to get the silverware. We've done nothing until we've got that back in the cupboard, Ox. That's the most important thing. We can have a great board, a great manager, the best fan base in the world. But Ox, Nainer has got to be happy until we've got that trophy back in our cabinet. And I honestly believe we've just about got the team today, Ox. I don't think we've got the team right now. I think there will be more signings coming in, even if it's the one I'm thinking about. I think the midfield will really tighten up. We've got the forward line, the defence. I think it's an exciting time for us, Ox, and people didn't want to see us happy and excited. They want to see us getting kicked, and it's not happening anymore, Ox.
And you come, Bridge?
Yeah, I can't disagree with a word he said. I think Rangers are here to stay, and we want them to be here to stay, but we have to improve. But there's a lot of folk out there. There's a lot of folk out there who don't want us to be there. So we need to watch what we're doing. I'm really happy with Rangers' position at the moment. If we could get it better, then the manager's got to do that and go and buy the players and do it. That's what I've got to say.
Here's a question for you, Kenny, yeah?
Yep.
Should we worry about these people? Should we?
Should I worry about the haters?
Aye, should we worry about them? Do we have nothing we do is going to affect how they feel about us? The media, the people in the media, should we worry about them?
Do you know something? See, if I was Steven Gerrard, I wouldn't say worry about them, but I would use them as what they call batteries, right? See, your haters, use that as fuel. And let the players know who hates us. Let them know who wants us to fail. And that should inject extra energy into them going into this season. Do you think
that motivates the modern day football player when you put a story for one of the red tops up in the wall?
It should. I played football, no, at a decent level, but I played football. It doesn't matter if you play Sunday League, whatever. But if you're good in that part and your manager says to you, listen, these guys have been saying A, B and C about you, they think you're rubbish, you're not, that's going to give you extra fuel. And see if you've no got that, see if that doesn't filter through at the Rangers players, they give them extra motivation, they shouldn't be at the club. Simple as that. But you know yourself, guys, Walter Smith used to put some newspapers up in the dressing room, didn't even do a team talk, and it worked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Modern day footballers. He maybe done that the first time, he changed a wee bit.
Mm-hmm.
Second time when his things changed,
They've changed. I mean, there you go. There's Nico, when he was at Rangers for a small space of time, he couldn't believe it. I can't remember who it was. We get beat up somebody, and he says he went in the dressing room, he says, I'm going to get a wee bit. This is obviously before Gerrard came in, obviously, right? But he thought he was going to go in and get a lot of angry players. He says, but all sitting there in their earphones, watching on their phones, just laughing away. He says, back in his day, they were all fighting with each other in a good sense, angry about the result, kicking things out. As you say, does a modern football club do that? You're home, so, because it's playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Yeah, just they're a different breed now, but like society, not just football's changed, society's changed, but interesting times. This 150 year, it's going to become a big focus for us. If you had a magic wand, Kenny, and you could do one thing, what would it be?
Magic wand, as in.
Anything for the club,
anything for the club is obviously bring 55 to Rangers.
That'll be done this year before we get to 150.
Mm-hmm. And as Dave King said, once that happens, it's a pack of cards they'll fold.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be before that, but just watch and keep them under the spotlight. George, on you go, George.
You said for a wee while, Locks, I mean, about 150. I think it's a great topic Kenny's brought up. And I would love, I think Bayern Munich spoke about doing it for their anniversary, whatever it was, changing the colour of the grass to red. I would love us to change it to blue grass. Just something as massive as that for the year. But it can't just be a couple of weekends. This is going to be a massive event, our weeks and weeks, so everybody can enjoy it. Have a carnival outside the thing with, and at the very end, you're suggesting the Dave King Way, right up the middle of
Dave King's
the
Highway.
back of the. Right up the back, right up the rocks, and open that in the last time and say, Ken, that's how proud. And me personally, I'm just talking about me personally. Might be folk in the lobby not happy about it, but I think that's how much Dave King's actually done for the club. That'd be a great way of saying, Ken, there you go. Let's actually go out there and make this a thing every Saturday. So the Waynes have got to be wanting to come to this and go out there and stand under there and things like that. I think that'd be a great idea for it.
All right, I'll tell you what, we're going to have a tune, right? Obviously, we're going to play us in, what do you call it, 150th anniversary. Well, obviously, it's no centurion, it's no a bicentennial. What is it? Is there a proper name for it? I don't know, is there? Bridgeman, you're on a couple of birthdays away for that. What's it called?
I couldn't tell you, but
No, not there. Anyway, the 150th anniversary match. We'll have a tune, but have a think, lads. What team are we going to play? I know who I think we should play, but I'll ask you it. Get yourself in mute. We're going to have a tune for Fox.
Oh, every other Saturday, my half day up, and it's up to the match I go. Happily we wander down the Copeland Road, me and my wee pal Joe. Oh, we love to see the lassies with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all. We love to see the Rangers score. Whoa, me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, how we love to hear the cry. We love to see the lassies with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all. We love to see the Rangers score. Oh, we won the Scottish League about 1,000 times. The League Cup is simple too. We gave some exhibitions in the Scottish Cup. We gave a Wembley Wizard too. And when the Glasgow Rangers win the European Cup, like the one they had before, we'll rally round an Ibrox 100,000 strong. We'll give the boys an Ibrox roar. Whoa, me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, how we love to hear the cry. We love to see the lassies with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all. We love to see the Rangers score. Oh, how we love to hear the cry. We love to see the lassies with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all. We love to see the Rangers score. Whoa, me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, how we love to hear the cry. We love to see the lassies with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you the best of all. We love to see the Rangers score.
Who was doing the channel at the start? Was that you, Bridge?
That was me, pal. That was me.
Pretty
Apologies.
good, mate. Pretty good. And you're unlucky. There's no X Factors for over 75s this year. Right, I'll give you a wee quiz question. Well, no quiz, just a wee question before the break. Obviously, we've got to... Oh, wait a minute. I've got what it's called, actually. Wait a minute. Somebody sent me it. Sequencentennial. It was 150 years. There we go.
There we go. Well done. Well done.
Every day's a school day, yeah? Oh.
Absolutely. Sequential. Oh, sorry.
It's a bit of Latin to me, but there you go. JFK must have got the answer. He done Latin at school.
Sequencentino.
Yeah.
Sequencentino.
Yeah. Right, Kenny, what team would you play?
Yeah, I'm going to come in here. You said team. Now would we not go for a festival like we used to do with the tournaments years ago? Remember? Maybe have a mini tournament going on a full weekend.
What happens if we get beat?
Well,
it's happened before, by the way.
That's a good point. But I'm sure we can maybe bring in a referee. I was going to say in our favour, no referees in our favour in Scotland.
By the way, we get beaten with centenary match.
Right.
Beaten with centenary match. A good point, but if you want to pick a teammate, who would it be?
I would think something that would bring in worldwide viewers all the world. I would say I would bring in Real Madrid.
All right. Okay. I think we've only played them twice.
Exactly. That's why I'd say that, because we've not played them many times, and that'd be nice to see them at Ibrox.
All right. Okay. And if you were having a tournament, they'd be one of the teams you would invite.
See, it's a difficult question. It's one of the ones that we need to consider who our friends are as well. So, they would probably be one of the teams, just because they're probably, I would say, one of the top 5 teams in the world.
And by that time, Messi will be playing for them, won't he?
Well, you never know. You never know.
What about you, George? What team would you play?
I would like to play the team we played in the Cup Winners' Cup final locks. I think that'd probably be the bit. What Kenny's saying there, Real Madrid's another great shout. I've never seen Rangers playing Real Madrid. That's another great shout. I mean, if I ken it's about Rangers and I ken it's not about one person that walks, but the buzz is about the place I know. Bring Liverpool up. They'll probably have the European Cup at the time and the League Cup at the time, and we'll have our League Cup at the League Trophy at the time. Get the two of them sitting there side by side. That would be one for me as well. Just because of the Steven Gerrard effect as well, because I think he brings that much to the club, and it means that much to that club down there too. I think it'd be a bit of a do.
Well, I get that. I can see where you're coming from there, George. Always a lot of connections back historically with Liverpool, our club. Right, okay. Bridgeman?
Yes, pal. Yep.
The question for the break?
I missed it, pal. I missed it.
Oh, well.
He's nitting. What was that again, please?
Pick for about 150th years to play in a match.
Who would we pick?
Who would you pick?
Who would I pick?
Hurry up.
You mean what team would play?
No, the women's netball team. What do you think? What football team we're going to play?
No, I'm saying, is it the team you would want to play us?
You.
Or was it players you wanted to play for us?
No, the team that we should
play.
Okay. Need to get him drug tested in the morning.
I would like to see one of the big English teams coming up.
Right.
Tottenham Hotspur or Chelsea. I'd love to see that.
Right.
Maybe even both. Be great to see.
All right, okay.
I just love those two teams. They're really good.
I would stick with a historical connection, but I like Kenny's idea. But I think there must be a place for us because of the connection for Arsenal, because of we played them in my centenary game. Kenny?
You got a good point, and obviously Rangers have got connections through them for years as well.
I don't favour Arsenal. I just think the historical tie-up between the clubs, yeah.
Yep. No, you've a valid point. I think I choose Real Madrid because I'm saying, massive club, and I say one of the top clubs in the world, if not the top club in the world, and it would just attract attention everywhere.
What would be your tournament then? What about this then? Liverpool or Arsenal, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid.
Aye. See anything? The reason why I said the tournament festival. I mean, if we had to celebrate 150 years for a particular weekend, we could have that as the focus. With other events after it, maybe, and as I say, the hydro and different things like that. So I think bringing in these big name teams is just going to add to the carnival atmosphere. And I think, you could talk about this all night. It's a great point.
Can I come in, Rock?
Aye, on you go, mate.
The thing with that is, we're talking about would it be the Rangers team of the present you would play in that Ox? Because that's a great shout for a wee tournament. Let's just say Rangers, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Real Madrid, or Paris Saint-Germain, one of these teams. Otherwise, and you maybe play our 2 games or something like that. But could you have a Rangers select? And I'm not talking about bringing Willie Henderson that out, Ox. But could you have a Rangers select, a Barry Ferguson, a De Boer, and a Amoruso further back in that, Stuart McCauley, Ali McCoist, and things like that.
If you were having a festival or a weekend, mate, there's nothing to say that you couldn't have a Legends game at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the other games start after that.
I think you would have to have for the size of the fan base we've got, 50,000 fans in Ibrox on a Saturday, probably wouldn't cut it because there's that many people want to go now and things like that. If it wasn't the full weekend, maybe our 4 days consecutive, and the Saturdays or the month or something like that, to spread it out so everybody got a chance to see it, something like that. And then that's when I would probably want.
The logistics of that, I think, if you were going to do a tournament person, I think it would need to be over a weekend, mate, pre-season. Kenny?
Aye.
No, you've made a very good point, guys. You really have. I mean, we're celebrating 150 years, so there's players, obviously we're not going to go right back to day dot and bring back, that's not going to happen. But what I'm saying, we need to involve people at the club, like say, John Gregg, he needs to be, I'm not saying he's going to play, but we need to bring in, as I say, players, can still maybe play a game of football, have something involved, like, as you say, Barry Ferguson's and maybe Ian Ferguson and Richard Gough, King Richard, we need to bring all these. We need to do something that's going to involve these players as well. Definitely.
Aye, well, we could have a Legends match, which is part of your, obviously, your celebration at the stadium before the tournament starts, mate.
Definitely, and I think that could happen. As I say, if you've got, yourself, if you've got a festival on the go, I mean, there is probably time slots where you can maybe have, if the game, say for talks one of the games at 3 o'clock, who's to say you can't have a game at, say games at, even at night time, 7:45, you could have a game at 12 o'clock, for example, and have things around about the ground going on. So it's open to debate. It's quite a good topic. You could, as I said, you could sit here and have loads of ideas and talk about it all night.
It's very exciting listening about it. Very exciting.
Totally. And it's great because the one thing we need to do, guys, you'll all agree with me, is we need to make a statement to the fellow Scottish football. For years we're getting brought down. The media's shot us down. Let's make a carnival event. Let's light up Glasgow blue. Because Scottish football should be celebrating a club like Rangers' history, but we all know that's never going to happen. And the council and things like that, they'll step in, so you can't do this, you can't do that. But it's up to us to make a noise and demand it for the football club.
You're here, mate. You're here. I think obviously the club, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of, usually with these kind of things, they get a cross spectrum of people involved in the committee. So it'll be interesting because they've just started the planning now. With the building the Edmondson House, George, so it'll be the first steps.
Aye, that's what I'm saying, Ox. It's all exciting times. I mean, what you're talking about there, that's a great idea. I mean, just like Bridgeman said, even just listening to everybody talking about it's exciting. But you could even have a Rangers Scotland select against the rest of the world select Ibrox Ox. I mean, what kind of players would show up that day to play for Rangers and for the Legends both sides? That would be absolutely fantastic. see if something like this doesn't happen, though, because I'm going to be a bit gutted because this is a great idea.
I've been saying another one, Kenny. You need to bear me out in this, yeah?
Yep.
You would have a Legends match, a main match, and then a full concert at Ibrox with selected entertainment groups. No, big groups.
Oh, listen, do you know something? Biffy Cairo's a big Rangers fans. You know, you could have them.
One the other day.
Wet.
I need to dig them up, I think.
I'll bring
You know-
my band.
Your band would
Ferdinand.
always be popular. They get a big role, George. And obviously Sidney Devine.
Oh, God.
You know his numbers.
As long as it's no Jim Kerr, as long as you don't bring Jim Kerr back to Ibrox. And
No,
Rod Stewart.
no. Couldn't believe that at the time, mate. I couldn't believe it at the time. No, but Jim Kerr said to you, Bridge,
Go on.
don't you forget about me.
Don't you forget about me, yeah.
Right, where were we? Right, aye, so there's lots of things that can be done, potential planning. It depends what we're going to get. Are we going to get the pre-season of 72? The Arsenal game, from memory, wasn't it 73, was it? That's from memory, am I right?
We
When
played
opened
Arsenal in the
centenary stand.
first floodlighted match at Ibrox. Am I right in saying that? Under the floodlights.
I'll take your word for it, Kerry. You're a lot older than me. I wasn't there, mate. But I was at the centenary game.
I just read the books.
It might be, but I know we obviously played them centenary game, Bridge, when we opened up the old centenary stand, yeah? Come on, Bridge. Oh, dear. Right, George, you'll not remember that, will you? When we opened up the old centenary stand.
No, I didn't remember that. But we've had a bit of connection with Arsenal over the years anyway, Oaks, haven't we? I mean, I remember we played them in a friendly for 2003, just before the start of the season as well, 2004 or something like that. So we have always had a connection there. And it would gather some pace no matter who we're playing. If it was 150 celebrations, Oaks, I think it'd be a massive game. And I don't think any team wouldn't want to come. Real Madrid, Barcelona, whoever it was, they would want to come out here and see this. And the Rangers fans would definitely go just to see Rangers. That's the main thing. So I think that's a great idea, Rox. It's real exciting times. Like,
right, so George, if people want to phone us, give their thoughts. What's the number?
0141356 1972, and Ox, Fox will bring into the call.
All right, phone up, hang up, and we'll contact you right back. Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We've brought in a call. The old school Blue and Fox are sitting patiently waiting.
We could hear everybody's ideas on that, Ox.
Aye.
Everybody had different ideas and things like that. It'd be good to hear what they thought, because I mean, there you've come up with one, Kenny's come up with. It'd be really good to hear everybody's ideas.
Aye, it's it'll be in tappies before we know it, Kenny.
As and it's you said earlier, if we don't do something, if we don't do something big for this, I'll be very disappointed as well. No, if Rangers went and done something, something, it'd be disappointing. We need to make a mark here. We really need to go out and say, listen, this is a club that's been pillar to post. The media, all the haters out there trying to kill us off, and they've not went anywhere. Let's make a statement. 150 years, let's show the world.
Obviously, we've also got the 2 stage productions. We could book the 2 theatres out simultaneously, rally around the Rangers at the Pavilion and the Rangers story in the Kings. We could do that, Kenny. What about that?
That's another good thing. I mean, you could have, as I say, they could turn it into a mini festival. You could have it on a weekend where there's all sorts going on. I don't know how you would plan that out. Obviously, you need to bring in the powers that be, but it would be something that we'd need to in that particular weekend or that week. It would just be all about Rangers celebrating the 150 years and make sure that everybody knows about it. Make sure the fellow Glasgow knows about it and the world knows about it.
If you put the plans out something big like that, the hotels would be soon filled quite quickly.
You can imagine, for example, the boys for the water coming out. They'll book up and their friends from down south. People from Australia. They come out. I mean, they're a massive fan base, and it would attract a lot of attention. And we need to make the most of it. We need to really highlight the fact that we've got 150 years, but I'm sure something will be in the pipeline because we're good people at the club now. It's not like we're sitting back watching, the people before. been at Rangers, but we've got good people at the club, so that should be in the pipeline.
Interesting stuff. George will be in top us before we know it, eh?
Aye, it will be, Ox. It will be. And like Kenny's saying there, a few years ago, you maybe wouldn't have been expecting great things in that. But the guys at the club now, I mean, even just my GRs and that all coming out. I mean, that's their ideas coming out with new things. I think when this does come around, I think it'll make it a really big atmosphere. And you know what, Ox? The last few years, he's probably given us that kick up the bum just to actually celebrate our club. Because I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about me personally. I probably took us for granted a wee bit, Ox. Got to win this, win that, win the next time. Great players, £10 million players, £5 million players. I probably took it for granted when I was younger, Ox. And if it was kept on going at 150 years, I maybe wouldn't have been but now we're actually seeing what this club means to everybody and what we've actually done to rally around to bring the club back to the very top, Ox. So I think it will be a fantastic event.
There's a big thing. You're assuming we'll be back in the football around, Kenny.
That's the thing, you know. It seems like a lifetime that we've not been at Ibrox, you know. But it's all for people's safety first and foremost. But you're thinking, well, you hope, you know, you don't know if you're going to hold, but we need to be back by then, surely.
Hopefully sooner rather than later, you know. Just sent somebody sent me Centenary of the Cup, so the match was played in '73 against Arsenal. So it'll be interesting to see when we pick it. But I think they've done that to open the Centenary stand. Yeah, from memory. I'm going to check that out. Kenny, you've got me thinking, though. I'm sure the first floodlighted game at Ibrox was against Arsenal. I might be wrong, but I'm sure it is. That's 50 years before. That would be at least 20 odd years before the Centenary game, mate. That would have been in the 50s.
I might be wrong, but something's in my mind about that. I'll need to check it up. But
yeah, you might be right. They came up and opened the floodlights. You might be right.
But you know, it's a great shout. It's a great shout. Arsenal, you know what I mean? Any club that's got a big pedigree coming up here, and there's loads you can do. Your mind's just going 100 miles an hour. When these are all asking these questions, you're thinking them. No doubt it will come off the night, and you're sitting and go, bing, I've got something else, and it's great. It's good chat.
Aye, other things, but that's a good subject, big subject for us, George.
What about the one when we played in the Loving Cup? It's celebrated every year. Stoke City, and was Bradford not involved with that as well at one point, Oxford?
No, it's Stoke City. There was a mining accident that happened in the Potteries, mate. And there was I thought
Bradford had played the Stoke at one time as well. Just a wee mini tournament involving that as well.
No, that was the Potteries. The accident happened, and then they struck so many. I think it was 20 of the cups, mate. Or maybe more. I don't know. This is from memory, mate. It's a long time since I've read that story, but
aye, that's true, isn't it? It's a long time ago.
Aye,
long time ago.
That was definitely Stoke City. We played in a friendly, mate. Raised a lot of money for the
we did. Yeah, we did.
And then
we've done the same in Poland as well, Ox, didn't we? We played the Polish team. Was that a mining disaster as well? And they gave us the cup. It's made out of charcoal.
No, we played them. That's when we played. It was a disaster because they knocked us out. That's when we played them. Gornik knocked us out, mate. That's when we got the Black Cup.
Is that when that was, Ox, was it?
Aye. We played them.
I hate that Gornik. I hate that Gornik.
Obviously, if you'd been listening earlier on with your P's, George, you'd have got that Gornik.
Aye, that's right. But just, I mean, you're just going through again, Ox. It just shows your proud history. I mean, we've went to talking to Real Madrid, to Stoke, but we Rangers have got a proud history, and 150 years coming up. It's a good subject to talk about. Everybody's got their own ideas. Everybody's got things that would love to happen. And I think our club's capable of pulling anything off now, Ox, because of the fans and the guys have got on the board and things like that. So I'm excited about it.
Obviously, people's pockets are only so deep, Kenny, you know. You know, that's always and you like to think there'll be something there for the fans, you know, just... You know,
you're right in what you're saying, and if we did have a tournament or whatever, you know, obviously Rangers are going to put a price on these tickets, etc., right? But I think at the same time what they should look at it and doing, it might seem, some people might say it's a bit far-fetched, but it's still 150 years for a fantastic football club, has to be remembered. So what we should do is maybe say, well, let's get Glasgow Green, let's have something there for fans, they can go in for free, we can put a little, something there. and just make, as I keep saying, make a noise about it. Let the world know, let Glasgow know, Scotland know that we're celebrating 150 years.
Aye. Right, he's got my vote. We'll put him on the committee. What do you think, Bridge?
Absolutely. Is he a Rangers fan?
I don't know, Bridge. I'm a bit worried. I don't know, but give me time. But we'll see. We'll see. Aye, great points. What about Kenny? Give your views on these international breaks, mate.
Do you know something? First and foremost, I'd rather watch paint dry and watch Scotland. Ever since for years now, they've never interested me. So I think it's a headache for Rangers and Steven Gerrard when you've got players going playing for Scotland. I'd rather not see anybody play for Scotland. A lot of people might come into the fold and argue the fact that every player's dreams to play for the national side, but I disagree. No for Scotland. I'd rather see no player playing for Scotland and we keep them fresh for Rangers.
Aye, I think they've lost the Rangers support, but I don't think any football fan, we touched on it earlier, George has enjoyed the international break, did he?
No, I hate it, Ox. I really do. And I've never liked, years and years ago, of course I've said that already, but I've never ever liked international football. I'm a Rangers fan, and I can't a lot of people get excited about the Premiership starting Saturday and that. Things like that don't excite me, Ox. I prefer a good potty soup to watch the Premiership, but when it's Rangers on, I watch Rangers all day and all night. It doesn't matter who they're playing against. It's as simple as that. When it comes to an international break, me personally, I personally can't cheer a Celtic goalkeeper and goals for Scotland. I want him to get scored, and that's maybe not right in the heat, but that's the way I feel. Look, I'll support Rangers, guys, and that's just the way it is.
I recognise you play a lot of Monopoly in your house, mate. You know what I mean?
I think, George, to be honest, there's an awful lot of Rangers fans, if not all of us. I supported Scotland from afar, of course, for many years, but when I was a younger man, I went to all the internationals, particularly Hampden, and thoroughly enjoyed them. I was a big Scotsman when I was living abroad. It's when you've lived abroad, and you've probably done it yourself, George. Even doing in England, you become more Scottish when you're not in Scotland, type of thing, you know. That's that scenario. But my goodness gracious, this last few years, it's been torture for Scots people, absolute torture, and they don't want the way the situation is at Scotland, particularly the football and international. It's just wrong. And everything about it's wrong. And not just that, they know it's wrong. They know it's wrong.
I've been just sent the details of the floodlight game, Kenny. It was against Arsenal.
I thought that. Aye. I've got a few pictures of that somewhere in my files. It's the floodlights. And I always remember reading something about it as well. So my memory's still doing all right.
You might have plunked school to go to it, mate. 1950.
Oh, no, God. Well, maybe my granda was a.
Bridge, what kind of game was it?
I tell you what, I was at because I live no far from Shawfield. I can't remember the year, but I went to see Clyde playing Sunderland in their floodlit game, their first floodlit game, opening the lights. You know, quite exciting for a wee kid. You know, quite exciting. Going at night, you know, Granda on the shoulders, taking me up. He's sitting in the wash sun. Marvellous stuff. Marvellous stuff. I can't even remember when that was. Probably something like early 50s or something like that.
I think we opened their floodlights as well, Arsenal. You know. It sounds a bit mental, Kenny, for some of the younger generation that there'd been a big thing made about floodlights, but it wasn't that long ago, and it was revolutionary, wasn't it?
And that's the thing as well, right? Rangers have been a team for firsts, as you always know. First team in Scotland to bring in smart cards. First team in Scotland have big screens. First team in
Britain to get to the European final.
Exactly. So there's always, we've always been a team for firsts. If you look through the history of the club, we've always been a first to 50 You know, it's for teams. You know, through the years have been loads of firsts.
True, and we were innovators, obviously, with the stadium as well, George. Obviously, with issues, and obviously there's time and place to discuss that, but we've always tried to be innovative in our stadium.
Well, of course, Ox. I mean, I think we were the first team to have the 5-star stadium, Ox. I mean, we've led Scottish football. I keep on harping back to this.
The only one, George.
Aye, we've led Scottish football, and that's the thing. We've led Scottish football, and when we led Scottish football, I mean, that team were getting to European finals, and our team was getting to European finals, and there was a bit of excitement about it now. We've not been took a back seat. We've probably been kicked to the back for everything that's happened and things like that, Ox. And Scottish football is basically the toilet now, Ox, if we're perfectly honest about it. We talk about it because it's our team, Rangers, but it's nowhere near where it used to be, and that's why I keep on. It's a different subject altogether. I know it is. That's why I keep on saying we need to start winning trophies, because nobody's got to want us under that table until we're back to the top of the league. People talking about us, we need to get our feet under the table. The only way that's going to happen is when we get our big cup back, and that'll be this year, Ox.
Here, George. Here. Obviously, success breeds other success, Kenny.
Totally agree. I think I was going to touch on something else as well, guys. I mean, going into, well, might go off subject here, but I'm going to bring it up, guys. I'm going to, after this point, I'll need to go. I've got things to sort out in the house. But there's on Saturday, it's another chance for Rangers to have another clean sheet. Outstanding, isn't it, so far? And Dundee United, the last time we played them, I'm sure it was a cup game at Ibrox in the Betis, and it was very disappointing. They had maybe half of the stadium, so did we. It was surreal circumstances.
Semi-final of the cup, yeah.
So it's time to put a marker on that. But going into the game, we're confident. We're confident now. As you all know, a lot of Rangers fans, we won 1-0. Oh, we should have been 7, should have been 8. But at the end of the day, 3 points, that's what matters to me. What's your thoughts on Saturday? I know I'm changing the subject, but just before I go.
All right, mate, only because it's you, right? We've got all week to fill on here, but obviously 3 points, most important thing, George. I'm not really too worried about the clean sheet record. I'd rather win 7-1 against Hamilton than 2-0.
I'm the same. I'm the same as you, Ox, and I'm not taking any of these games lately at all, Ox, because I think we took our foot off the pedal against Livingston. I ken Livingston were set up, and that's the way it is. But we're going to come up against that this season, so I'm not saying we're going to go here and run riot and set our dogs. But I'll be happy with a 1-0, and that's a lot of people are wanting to start seeing us playing football and things like that. And I ken when we went to 1-0 in that last game, everybody 2-0, everybody's wanting a lot more and things like that. I'll take a 1-0 all season, Ox, just to get us to the very end. But I think it'll be a bit of a tricky tie, Ox. I really think it'll be a bit of a tricky tie. We'll not get it all right and right. And of course, we're only on Monday here, Ox, so let's see how our players come back as well. That's another thing. I mean, we've got players going all over the world. I think you said the other night there are 13 players playing for the country. Some crazy journeys happening, and our players have got to come back. So let's see the back return Wednesday, Thursday possibly.
Well, it's only Europe. It's football's taking place at the moment, George. So we've not got all the boys away to South America, and we've not got all the boys away to maybe Africa.
Is Morelos not away, Ox, or Arfield or that? No. See, that's not too bad, right enough. There's a few hours journey, but it's still a worry, Ox, to see how
it's injury.
Hadjob away and Barisic is away and things like that. But I think we can definitely win the game, but I don't think we can be complacent, Ox. I hate that. Just thinking we can get there and run riot our team, because it's just not going to work. Like, teams are not going to allow Rangers to do that. When Rangers march up to town, they want to be on their A game, and most teams are actually on their A game, so we've got to learn to break them down.
I don't see any problem with Saturday, but I've been wrong before. 1973. When you go, Rich?
I was going to say that I was at that game with Dundee United at Ibrox Cup semi-final, quarter-finals. I don't think they'd half the stadium.
No, they'd have.
I think they'd the front room on stand.
No, they had half the stadium, but they couldn't sell their tickets, could they?
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. I was in the West Stand or something like that, and they were quite a rowdy crowd. They certainly filled the lower Broomloan. It was absolutely mobbed. But whether they got any more, And I think they do all Broom one. I can't remember now, to tell you the truth. But you know, I thought we were playing quite well, and then they absolutely up to see us. So there's no arguments about it, other than the fact it's them. And this weekend, I'm going to take Rangers for a 1-0, 100%, 1-0, 100%. We know that they're not a great team, but we've got some. When we come up against teams that we've tussled with in the past, sometimes they seem to rise. The whole club seems to rise against us, and we don't seem to understand. I still don't think our players understand what's happening and how it is. But maybe next year they might. Follow what I mean? Get to the end of this year and go into next year, and maybe start to understand what this is in Scotland. And when players are going to play against the Rangers, it's the biggest game of their life in all probability.
Just putting it in context, Kenny, if we were playing against a Boys Brigade team, Bridge would take 1-0.
It's a comfort factor I'm looking for. I'm looking for the 3 points. I want us to go out and win, and I want us to win in style, and I want us to leather them by as many goals as possible. But I'll take a 1-0. That's just me.
Plus 4, it's the 3 points, but I don't see any danger, Kenny, in Saturday. I really don't.
No, guys, just before I shoot off, guys, I've enjoyed the chat. Love the show. You did a fantastic job, as always. I just maybe raced on a wee bit. I know it's only Monday. Sometimes that's all you think about is Rangers, you know. But I've raced on a wee bit, and I've went right off topic. And Saturday is every game's a cup final. So 3 points. That's what matters to me. If you win every game of the season, be 1-0, we're champions. That's the way I see it, guys. But guys, listen, been fantastic talking to you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Just to let you know, Kenny, tomorrow night we're joined by Jeff Holmes.
Oh, great man, a fantastic person. Yeah,
Jeff's joining us tomorrow night.
I'll tune in.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, mate. Take it steady, mate.
Guys, fantastic. Keep up the good work. Keep it going for the Rangers.
Stay safe, pal. Stay safe.
All the best,
Keep
guys.
it going for the Rangers. He stole that off you, Bridge. He stole it off you.
Picking up the pattern now. Guys, love you all. Take care.
All right. Cheers, then.
All the best.
What would be your idea for the 150 Ox? What would you want to do? I mean, I think you said that.
Yeah, I'd just be happy walking up for the subway, me and Bridge and Fox. I'm delighted with that for a start.
That'd be fabulous, wouldn't it?
That would be a bonus.
Again.
That'd be a bonus, wouldn't it, Bridge?
Absolutely.
You know,
I'm desperate to get back into Ibrox under any pretext. I want back into Ibrox.
Yeah, I think you've got to have a game. I think you've got to have a game. I might not be a fan of a tournament, but because from memory, George, when we've had the double headers, when the Rangers have played, you end up bored for the second game and there's nobody there. And if you have the first game, nobody's there, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you had, I was saying, see if it was a Saturday and the Sunday and it was a festival, or if it started off on the Friday with something on outside Ibrox, and then it was a game on the Saturday and the game on the Sunday, and you had Real Madrid on the Saturday, or whatever it was on the Saturday, and then like an Arsenal on the Sunday. I think that'd be too sellout. I mean, you could actually sell as a package, Ox, but I didn't think that'd be fair. I think you'd want everybody to get a chance to get in and celebrate the club at that time. So I think that'd be a good idea. I would like to play European Cup final for 72 again, Ox. I think that'd be a wee bit of an atmosphere, and I think it'd bring back some memories for. I mean, Fox is always on here talking about when he was there and things like that. I think that'd be quite a good one.
He can't remember a thing for that final.
Well, he got him.
I get your point. I mean, I'm not arguing against anybody's ideas. I get Kenny's thing about a tournament. I don't know how they've ever worked right back for the Tenant Caledonian Cup in the 70s, mate. 2 games of football is a long time. Maybe if it was pre-season, they could make the games an hour each, and you would then have over 2 days, you know. I get it. But there's a lot of things you could do, and if we get it right, it'll be an absolute fabulous occasion, Bridge Manor.
Believe it. It's going to be absolutely stupendous for the Rangers fans. There's going to be a lot of happy bears and obviously what we need is all this behind us, all this COVID stuff behind us, and no problems, nothing to impede us, and let's go to Ibrox and do the business. And I'd be quite happy with either, as I say, any of the Chelsea coming up. Or Chelsea would be great, you know. I think Chelsea would be smashing for Rangers. Spurs as well. Obviously, there's other guys would like Arsenal and so on and so forth.
I've not got any preference for Arsenal, Bridge. I'm only saying that historically that's who we're floodlights, we're centenary game, etc. That's only for the history side of it.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of history, allegedly, for Arsenal. I think there's quite a lot of history with Spurs. Spurs were always a good... Sorry.
Only because you favour Spurs, mate.
No. Spurs used to come up on an annual basis pre-season. So actually Arsenal did as well, to be honest. Yeah. Every second year or something like that.
We've played Arsenal a lot more than we've played Spurs, mate.
Indeed. But can I just say, I don't think I've ever been to an Arsenal game at Ibrox. I've been to a couple of Spurs games. They were excellent.
Mm-hmm. You know the centenary game then, no?
Centenary? No.
73, Charlie George scored.
No, I was in South Africa.
All right, okay. Is that when
did we play? I was at an Arsenal game at Ibrox. Was it 2003? I think, Ox. I think we played them in a pre-season friendly.
I think so, George. We've played them a few times.
And I'm sure we beat them that day, and I'm almost. I think it was 2003. I think we were on to beat Copenhagen. I can't remember anyway. And I think we were all talking we're going to be world beaters, Oxford. We had quite a poor season, to be honest.
It happened in '97 as well, mate. I think we beat Arsenal 3-0. We thought we were going to walk the league, and we blew it.
Aye. So things like that. There's connections here with big clubs like here. I mean, I would like to see one of the big clubs, Real Madrid, because I've never seen Real Madrid at Ibrox. I think I've seen, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Man United. I've seen all the teams, but I think Real Madrid would just be something
special. Well, you go back to the 60s, mate, when we played them.
I think it would just be something special to see them all.
You were there, Bridge, weren't you? When we played Bayern Munich, Real Madrid.
Aye, I was there, pal. I was there. That was fabulous, just fabulous. I told you was in San Bernabeu, and they took us around. They showed us through the players' changing rooms and all that, and into this hallway, and this huge big mural when they played Rangers. Rangers players up there. I was stunned to see it. Just stunned. Fantastic. I love these things.
I'm just trying to think that I don't think we didn't have a match for when we opened the Copeland Road. We opened that against Celtic in '79. We opened up the Broomloan Road we played Spurs and Arsenal over a weekend. I think it was a Friday and a Sunday, or a Friday and a Monday. And then when we opened up the Sandy Jardine stand, we played Liverpool. 83, I think. 82, from memory, George. So.
Aye, all big massive events. So same with when the club deck was done too. Was there not a big event for that as well? So that's the thing about our club. I mean, we come on here the night and we spoke about the kind of teams we could actually get out here. Our history is absolutely fantastic, Ox. The teams we've played against. I mean, you mentioned earlier on, we've had more games against German teams than anybody else.
That shocked me, George. It really did.
I thought it'd been England, though.
It's not even close, George. It's not even close.
I mean, I remember the Dortmund game, and by the way, we were a great team then when we played that Dortmund team. I think they were on to win it that season. Was that '97? We played the Dortmund team. We played some great Bayern Munich teams, and even just gone to the run to Manchester. We came up against Wolfsburg. We came up against in that thing. So we've played some big German teams over the years, but I've never got that as an answer.
Mm-hmm. No, it shocked me the day when I had a look at that. But last 20 minutes, so people want to use a call. What's the number, George?
The number is 0141 356 1972. Everybody in the lobby, come on and give us a call and tell us what you think about the show.
Especially that Mr. S. Kipper. He's always giving us stick me up.
S. Kipper.
Yes, Kipper.
Good friend. Mr. S. Kipper. Good friend. I believe he's sending you letters, so I'm not going to say too much.
He is a good friend, mate, but obviously you shake your hand you shake his hand, you end up with no jewellery.
Oh, wow. I don't know about that. He gives me sweeties. Sweeties.
That's because on a jewellery sells.
Love it, pal.
Oh, but we'll see where it takes us. We're looking for. We're slowly starting to build up, and as I said, we'll go to Jeff Holmes on tomorrow night. Who's, if you want to look at some of the books that Jeff's done, the subjects he's covered, he's been on before. When he wrote out the Mark Walters book, he's brought out a book that's coming out in October about Sam English, and I'm sure we'll have some great debate and great chat tomorrow, George. George?
Well, I was at the night when Richard Gough and John Gregg had the captain's night in the Hilton, and it was your man there that done the talking that night. And I mean, you think about these folk coming up. I mean, even the commentator now, who's talking about it, you think these guys come up and he knew an awful lot about our club. He was really knowledgeable in the way he spoke about our club.
It's no Jeff Ferreff, it's Jeff Holmes, the author.
Oh, sorry, Ox. Sorry, Ox.
Aye. What was his name? Jeff Ferreff. What was his surname? Jeff. Come on, what was it? Oh,
did you not interview him, Ox?
Winters.
Jeff Winters. He was on the show way back, mate.
Aye, Ox. That's
way
right.
Back.
I'm getting muddled up. All right, I'm getting muddled up.
Jeff Winters. Fox has come in and saved me there. All right, Fox, how we doing, mate?
I'm doing fine, pal.
Just that question, Kenny. Who would you play in the 150th year? Any thoughts on it?
Probably like yourself, Arsenal, because they were ties with them. But I mean, you need to remember it's over a year. I don't know about having a tournament at Ibrox. I think you could have selected friendlies over the whole year. Maybe entice some big teams that way. As you say, people get bored with a couple of games in a day, so maybe 4 friendlies over the year. Teams were associated with in my centenary. And if you remember back to that 73 game, mate, they could make the prices the same as they did back then. 5p, I think it was, to get into that game. I don't know if you would remember that.
No, I can't remember it, mate. I never bought my ticket for that game, mate. It was
5 pence to get in. I think there was over 70,000 at it.
Because that was where low. We'd obviously opened the centenary stand and we took our attendance down, we took our capacity down, Bridgeman, Fox, when we done that.
Maybe so.
Aye, because we put the benches in instead of having that massive terrace in the old enclosure or shed or whatever you wanted to call it, yeah?
I was trying to think of the team back then. It would be pretty close to the European Cup winners team. I think all the usual names were there. I can't think of him. It was Parlane. He scored the goal, didn't he?
I think we could beat 2-0.
2-1, I think it was 2-1, the centenary game.
I'll check it out for you, mate. Only for you. Head to head.
Doesn't matter what team came out, Fox, it would be a great game. I mean, me personally, I would like to see the 72 Cup final replayed, or that Real Madrid, because I've never seen that before. But even Arsenal and Liverpool, it was just a fantastic day for the club. But what you're saying there, Fox, I like that as well. Even if you're 4 or 5 games right through the season and saying this is what it's about. And remember playing different Rangers selects or the first team or whatever it is, I think that'd be a great idea. It's exciting.
The other thing when I was listening to you, Ox, was the Castor meeting. I don't think it's anything to do with all that. I think it's maybe on the lines of what sort of products the fans would like to see. I mean, I don't see Castor getting involved with arranging friendlies and things like that. I mean,
I think we were off on a tangent. It was about what kind of merchandise Kenny was asking, and we ended up going for that. To work with the stadium about. No, I don't think that'll be discussed at the.
No, I think Pastor maybe looking at maybe the strip, what sort of strip we would like, maybe some sort of centenary clothing of some sort. Myself personally, I'd like to see them bring out a cap. I don't mean a thingmy cap. I mean a cap like the Scotland cap. Thingmy 150 centenary, something you would hang up in your house or display.
You mean a collector?
Aye, and the same with my jersey that year would be a really special scarf, you know.
Well, maybe if you're going woolen, maybe that one will be silk that particular year.
Aye.
Aye, yeah, that all good ideas, George. Yeah.
Aye, brilliant. See just what you're saying there about the scarves. I think that would be, I mean, Ken, you said in the old Sandy Jardine stand, you used to get a scarf every year, Ox. I think it's dope, but I think that'd be quite a good thing. I think Foxy spoke about this before, about having something, Ken, for that particular year for the club, and it was something that folk would actually gather up, and the way the club could make money, as long as they have decent product off. See if it was made of pure cash, and then nobody would want it. But me personally, if they bring out a new one every year, or even if they bring out one replicating a year if they've gone past, I would definitely go and get it, Ox.
Aye. I couldn't disagree with what George is saying there. I think that's a good idea. And you've said this, Ox, for a number of years. They should find a way of getting a new scarf every season. It's got to have something significant, just as you were saying there. Something significant about the scarf in that season. And it might just be the new player's name or something like that, anything at all associated with it. So that's all I'm going to say. No, I think it'd be a marvellous idea.
Well, as I say, that's what I think that meeting's about. I don't know if we'll go back to our first strip. That was
the white with the blue star.
No,
on it.
I think it was blue with white shorts and striped socks, mate. Blue and white striped socks. The very first kit.
You remember that kit?
No, but I think I've seen illustrations of it somewhere. I think it was a blue, like a Granda shirt.
I know, but I thought it was white with a blue star on it, wasn't it?
No, I'm not sure if that was my first strip or no, mate.
Do you remember that one?
Maybe I'm wrong right enough. I thought I'd seen an illustration that was blue, white shorts and striped socks, mate.
I'm sure they could come up with some concept. It might not be your first strip, but it could be your special centenary one if you get it right, Fox.
Aye.
You know?
I'd love to get that strip, the one with the big blue star on it. I've tried a few times to get it, never actually managed to get it my size. I actually thought that was the first ever strip, to be honest.
Something like that, but I'll take what Fox's word. He went to school with the founding fathers, you know what I mean?
School. That was a day. Don't go back to my school days, mate. I just thought of something there and then decided to shut up.
I've still not recovered for your Glasgow airport.
When I was leaving school, my dad used to go on my clothes at the Army Navy store. I was the only guy at school with a laughing SS tank commander's outfit on.
SS, laughing SS. On yourself, Foxy. I love it.
Oh dear, I don't know if that's as good as your Glasgow airport one.
The laughing SS, I like that.
I can imagine you all turning up with all the rough boys would turning up with the posh boys with all the designs and use of the glue and the matchboxes stuck together.
The elastic band and the lollipop sticks. Anyway, carry on with your conversation, mate.
That's all right. You come on here and get me in bits laughing and then tell me carry on.
Oh, Fox, that's brilliant.
Well, special time, and I'm sure, George, as time goes on in the next few months, we will discuss it, plans as things unravel about it, yeah? The whole 150-year concept.
Aye, of course we will. And like you were saying earlier on there, Ox, a lot of things they'll not be put on hold as such, but a lot of folk will be thinking, Ken, when we've got to get back into grounds and things like that, because Bridgman says that he would go to the ground under any circumstances. Me personally, I wouldn't, Ox. Right now, I mean, I wouldn't want to go there unless I could come out that ground and get a test and then go home with my family, Ox. That's the way, and that's the way I see it now. I mean, there's other parts of Glasgow being shut down and things like that, like, so I think we're going to have to be careful. I ken it's a wee bit of time away, but the people that's organising this will need to be thinking that in the background as well, Ox.
Well, we'll need to get us back in the football, George. This will not go on forever. People buying tickets for games that are taking place, not just our club, all clubs, mate.
Aye, well, I think your club's probably the one. I'm not just saying that, Ox, but I think your club's probably the one with the loyal fans, and I think that would probably prove over the time. And I ken we've just released the other day that's just had the sell out of season tickets for 3 seasons in a row, and that's great, Ox. But like you say, people can't do it forever.
No, and wouldn't they be expected to, would they?
Yeah, well, the thing is, Ox, I mean, if you can do it, you can do it. If you can't do it, you can't do it. It's as simple as that. Some people in the position where they can do it, and people will. I mean, Bridgman, he'd probably just keep going. You can't what he's like. We just keep getting a season ticket everything. But people can't afford the Ox. And if you're not going to get to a game this season, this year, I don't think you'll get to a game this year anyway. And that's you going into the next year looking, you're only got 10 games left to go, 10 home games left to go for the full season. So everybody can't sustain that, Ox.
I would do live in interesting times, but I'm sure as time goes on, hopefully we can sort something out as a country in the world, mate, because it's not just our issue, it's the whole world, isn't it?
Aye, that's right. That's right.
You know?
I think some of the boys, including JFK, said that chances are we might not even see a game of football in a stadium this year. Rangers fans, that is, you know. So.
Well, I think at the time when he said that, a lot of us thought, oh well, but we're starting to head towards October now, you know.
Exactly. I was just about to say that there. You're near the end of September now. Well, even though it's only the 7th or something like that.
No, you're starting to head into the middle of the month, you know. But
transfer window will be closed at the end of the month.
when does that shut? I think it's October, isn't it?
It's the 14th or 12th or something like that of October. Something like that.
You know. We'll see. We'll see what it takes us with transfers, see who goes, see who stays, see who we buy, see whatever.
Still want one in, Ox. I really am desperate for it to still get one in. And I think we will. I mean, I ken James is on, and it's brilliant the way he goes through players and things like that. Absolutely brilliant, because I can't do it. I've actually tried my hardest to go through and find a player who I want to go Rangers to go and get for our midfield. I've narrowed it down to a British player, Ox. I kind of want like an Stuart McCall and Ian Ferguson, somebody like that can get the ball and run with the ball and things like that. And I just kind of put my finger on it. I mean, Steven Gerrard's hundreds of times better than I'll ever be at anything like that. So hopefully our scouting team and Steven Gerrard and that's they're looking at these international games and maybe just got to pick up a wee gem for our midfield that can really rock us on, Ox, because I think that's all we're missing. I genuinely believe we're only missing one player, and to get it sorted out with Alfredo, you gone or you staying. I'll be happy for the boy to stay, but in the same hand, Ox, I think if he goes, we've still got the players in the park that can still do it. So for me, one more midfield and I'll be happy.
That was a subject we were going to broach tonight about goal scorers and winning the league, but Kenny took us off on a tangent, and it is a call-in show and people are entitled to do that. Anyway, Bridge, we've reached that time of the evening.
Oh my goodness. What another marvellous night. A pity about my memory, particularly getting the...
And you won the quiz, Bridge, officially.
Did I?
Aye.
I don't think so. I think George's too smart for that. I threw it away, first of all, in the very first question. Progress Niederkorn. Got my towns and countries wrong. So, anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed it. A really good night. Marvellous night. Good discussions leading up to the big 150th anniversary. That's going to take a lot of people's minds on to get things right. Hopefully it all happens for us. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, please keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers do really need us. Keep it going.
All right, can I thank your good self, Bridge, and George for joining us, Fox for popping in, JFK for his message, even though it wasn't great news, but one of our own's passed away. Jimmy Dykes, for anybody that knew him, all the best to Jimmy and his family. Can I thank James for Tennessee and of course Kenny, who's joined us earlier on for RangersRadio. Always a pleasure to hear from Kenny. And this has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. Well, we'll be joined by Jeff Holmes, the author, mate. And anybody who's got the time, look up the books that Jeff's wrote. You'll be really surprised, covering a great deal of our history. Take it away, Old School Blue.